Now today I'll be sharing with you a little of what has been involved in the creation of my album. You've seen how I create my music, whether it's on Commodore Amiga or Polyend Tracker. Now you'll get to see how I put together and record my album. So get yourself comfortable and enjoy. I was actually wondering if I was gonna make it for the release date. I had 2 tracks to go. I was working on the track The Journey and everything just flowed. It was just a day ago when I was finishing The Journey. I worked on it that day and also the evening. There was a second track called Starlight, which didn't make it unfortunately. There were 11 tracks planned initially for MsMadLemon, but oh well, sometimes things just don't flow, especially when there are restrictions in time. It'll be in the next album then. I'm actually happy with the 10 tracks which MsMadLemon has. After the tracks were created, it was time to take everything upstairs to the main computer. That's where all the recording happens. Yes, I had a few setbacks and even got into a fight on the way. Setting everything upstairs was actually quite fun. Normally I have everything set up, but with things the way they are, all over the place, at the moment, I had to make do with whatever space I have. It sort of makes you look at things a bit differently. You take less for granted, that's for sure. Still need to do a little overview or flip through of this one. I bought this a little while back, and the second one, volume 2, I'm excited about announcing, is actually on Kickstarter right now, so I'm definitely going to be backing that. I'm going to try experimenting with something. Trying a second layer of the Amiga sound through the Boss MD200. Just add a little bit more character to the Amiga's stereo image. Okay, so I'm going to use the stereo separation adjuster, which I created quite a few years ago, I think right at the beginning of my channel. It was one of my electronics projects, but I'm not going to use it as, you know, the separation adjuster, so I'm going to leave the separation wide. The only reason why I'm going to use this is just to split the signal, because I can just put the Amiga in there and you get 2 out there. So Amiga goes in here. So I'm going to use channels 3, 4, 5 and 6 here, 1 and 2 are microphone inputs. So 3. Can go into one of these, and 5 and 6 go in the other one. Now the other output here, instead of going into 5 and 6, actually goes into the Boss MD200. Okay, so right, left. Now some patch cables. Now it's these that go in 5 and 6. Right, so just to explain the setup, We've got the Amiga's output going into here, which splits it out into two outputs. One output is going straight into inputs 3 and 4, which are these two. And then the second one is going into the Boss MD200 FX pedal. If you wish to watch more on that, I've done a full overview on that. It's actually really good. Anyway, from the MD200, it goes into 3 and 4. So this one, it has the effect, so I can add as much or as little as that. And, well, basically I have full control over the outputs here. Now the master output here actually has balanced line outputs, the XLR ones. So these, left and right, connect to my Focusrite to I2, left and right. Of course, putting the switches on the line instead of instrument. Okay, that's just annoying. Just not. Oh, I have to move that a little closer. Okay, much better. Okay, I'm gonna start trying to create a stereo image of the Amiga audio using this MD200 and all what I have here. So I'm going to be messing around with these, but you're not going to be able to hear me talk because obviously I'm going to connect this, the output of this, directly to your ears. So you're going to have headphones to know exactly what I'm doing if you follow through. Okay, just to kind of recap here, this is the equalization for each channel here, each track, whatever you want to call it. Now these are pan settings, so if you have them, you know, completely like this, ignore the microphone. If you have these completely at 12 o'clock, then that's just mono. You know, both of the channels are going, you know, into both speakers. So this is, if you want this to go right on the far right, and this to go right on the far left, so that's, you can adjust your Amiga stereo separation like this. This is why I kept it, you know, just passing through that. So you got exact control over the stereo separation here. And that's, you know, you can actually even invert it by going like this, if you want to do. For now, we'll keep it 12 o'clock, mono, and you'll get to see what I'm doing. Right, so just to recap what's going on here, the Amiga directly goes into these two channels here, left and right. The Amiga goes into the MD200, and then the output of the MD200 is these two, left and right again. And I'll be using the effects return just a little bit, and that just mixes in whatever effect you have here, you know, and it just mixes in slightly just to kind of like, you know, soften it a little bit. Now when I do this, you know, we'll be testing everything out. As an example, I'm just gonna do the title track of my last album, Memorias. So, let's get started. Okay, I won't lie, I had a lot of fun doing that. Actually, I was gonna go with the chorus, but then I just noticed the overtone. It just sort of added, you know, higher octaves and lower octaves. And just to like have that in very subtly in the background, just like gave the stereo image and the entire song track a bit of a body. However, you know, I think I'm gonna go with this configuration and just like the little bit of reverb here, just a slight bit, just to kind of like, you know, smoothen the hard edges a little bit. Actually, I'm happy with the end result. It's like whatever you do, you want it to be very subtle, just to kind of give it that little bit of a lift, give it that little bit of a body. So that will, I think I'm happy with that. However, while it's recording, I'm gonna have to monitor it, you know, I'm gonna have to monitor it properly, because and listen carefully, because when you're recording and you have your track and it goes into a quiet bit, you might hear some, like, you know, undesirable effects in the quieter parts. So if any of that happens throughout any of my tracks, and of course different tracks have different sounds which don't exactly react the same nice way as this track has with this particular effect, so in some tracks I may have to just completely like omit it, which is, you know, just mute it out like that. No, honestly, I hope that's not the case. I hope I can just use this throughout my tracks, because it just adds body. Okay, so just to kind of show what's happening here, let's do this on a track which I assume most of you Amiga users are gonna know, and that is the title tune to Lotus 2. I'm pretty sure everyone will recognize this one. Well, I don't know, almost everyone. Okay, so that kind of gave it some body there. I really liked the part where, you know, this bit where the song hits the peak. I absolutely loved it. It just gave it so much depth. And I mean, this is the favorite part of the tune for me anyway. But it just gives it so much. It's giving me like goosebumps. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna start recording now. I kind of like this though. I'm gonna be very subtle with it. You know, I don't want it to kind of like I just want it to have undertones. The recording to have undertones and a little bit of depth. I don't want it to kind of like the effect to take over or anything like this, because I don't want any undesirable effects. And I don't want the original to be drawn out. So, you know, just to kind of like accentuate and uplift. Okay, so now it is time to record the one track on this album that has been created using Polyend Tracker. So yeah, in future the albums which I'm gonna have, they are going to be future albums. I will of course have a mixture of Amiga and Polyend Tracker because I don't know, I just like to kind of mix things up a bit. Get creative. It's always the best way. I need to make some space for the Polyend Tracker. I'm not going to need this. I'm not going to take the Polyend through this. Simply because it has its own effects. I'm going to mute the Amiga. And I'm just going to put the Polyend Tracker connected to where the Boss MD200 was connected. So let's take the effects down. All I'm going to do is just do a straight recording. So thank you, you've served me well, Mr. Boss. So I'm going to connect this via the instrument cables. Actually, to be honest, I don't even know what you call these. Is it instrument cables? You know, I've been using them for like many years. I just never know what to call them. Already people listening to and enjoying my album. Really happy to see this. I'm already getting supporters appearing on the page, and one of them messaged me to say that he'll be recording his purchase of my album on the cassette. I fully approve of this. Speaking of recording on the physical media, I'm about to record a copy of my album on the mini disc and need to choose one. That's all there is for the video, but there's still the matter of the album, Zaman. Do head over to Bandcamp and get yourself a copy of it. And to those of you who have been enjoying my album today, thank you so much. Your support means more to me than you'll ever know. For now, I'll let you head over to Bandcamp and enjoy. Thanks so much to all my patrons for supporting my channel, especially to you very kind top-tier supporters of mine who deserve an extra special thanks. Rich Garbett, Electronscape, Axel Dominator, Aaron Metcalf, Corey Ostman, Mark Bosak, Starlight Minako, and Chris Sebelinski. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Until next time, adios!